Hola, ¿cómo estás? What's good? What's good? What's good, beautiful people? This is your guy, Tone DeShields II. You guys are locked in on your dose of chalking up sports, where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just got to charge it to the game. Listen up, listen up, listen up. We took some time off, right? You know, it's the summertime. I did a little bit of moving around, had some family coming in town to visit me. So I took some time off, you know, to focus on me, to focus on the family, to get some things going. And now we back at it. Training camp is here, everybody. This is what it's all about, right? Training camp for your Philadelphia Eagles is officially here. We're not wasting any time. We're not pulling any punches. We're coming at this thing straight, no chaser. So please make sure you guys smash that like button. Make sure you guys are locked in on the content. That means a lot to me, right? The engagement, the likes, the subscribes, all the energy you guys provide to the show. I love it. I love it, and I do not take it for granted, man. So I always try to make sure I'm doing my due diligence and making sure the content is as high quality as I possibly can make it with all the resources that I have potentially at my disposal. But we're here, and I'm always grateful for you guys. My man, Jake, what's going on? He says, what up, Tone? Love all the way from Hawaii. That's what I'm talking about, man. I like that. I like that. The good brother, Weapon X, I appreciate him as always showing love, man. Weapon X is that dude. He says, haven't been here in a minute, bro, but I'm back locked in. Hey, listen, it's all good. It's all good, man. You know, I took a couple weeks off. I took a few weeks off. And, you know, ultimately the goal was to just recalibrate, reset. You know, the reality is training camp is here. And now we have more things to sink our teeth into. We can start to get into the off season or the training camp storylines, things of that nature. I got some notes written down here that I want to tackle with you guys. Best believe I came prepared and ready to rock. But at the same time, again, I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page here. Again, please make sure you guys smash that like button. Make sure you guys please stay locked in on the content. I can't take it for granted. My man KGK, what's good? Bold Brew, what's good? David Mac Perez, what's good? Doomsday, already donating to the channel, man. He says, glad to see you back, brother. Doomsday Corner Sports with a $5 donation, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate this. I do not take it for granted, big dog. We going fast, man. No gas or no brakes, excuse me. All gas, no brakes. All gas, no brakes. Training camp is here, which means joint practice is going to be here and the preseason games, and all of a sudden, next thing you know, the season's going to be here. So we're going all gas, no brakes with this thing. Shout out to my man Weapon X, also with the $5 donation. He says, all love, bro. Keep grinding, man. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys. You know, like I said, man, summertime. We're in the dead heat of summer. August is almost here. Training camp is here. You know, I took a few weeks off. I had family coming into town to visit. And I had other things going on, so I just had to make sure all my ducks were in a row. But you guys, I didn't just come back here. Excuse me, you guys. I didn't just come back here empty-handed, right? I didn't just come back to the show expecting you guys to pour into me all of a sudden. So again, thank you again, Weapon X and Doomsday for donating $5 to the show. But like I said, I didn't just come here empty-handed. I didn't come here just expecting you guys to just eat out the palm of my hands, right? I came bearing gifts. And I told you guys leading up to this that I had merch coming out this week. I told you guys I'm going to be doing giveaways started July 23rd. And again, we're going to get into the topics that I have written here. We're going to get into all of that. But I want to make sure you guys know that I don't come here empty-handed. As a matter of fact, I come bearing gifts. I have a ton of Eagles merch in here that I am so prepared to give away. I have stuff for the winter time. You know, I got beanies and gloves. You know what I'm saying? I got hats that I ordered for you guys, man. I mean, I got so much stuff. I got so much stuff that's ready to go out and get shipped. Giveaways, hats, keychains, lanyards. I got a ton of stuff that I'm ready to give away. We're gonna be doing giveaways, right? as we make our way through training camp, as we make our way through joint practices, the preseason, all throughout the regular season, we're going to be doing giveaways all year long. This is something new for me. I've never done giveaways before. So I want to make sure you guys are getting your eyes worth or your time's worth, right? You guys invest a lot of time in me. And you guys, you guys, you guys invest a lot of energy in me, right? I just want to make sure I give it back to you guys. My man KGK says, wintertime, I wear beanies year round. Hey, listen, hey, that's even better, KGK. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. But like I said, man, I got snapbacks, strapbacks, got some fitteds in here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got stuff I'm giving away. Eagles gear. This is what we're doing. Eagles gear. Giving away. Legit Eagles gear. Philadelphia, baby. You know how we holding it down. Got a Kelly Green snapback for somebody. So we holding it down here at Chalk It Up Sports. Like I said, we're going to be giving away a lot of stuff all throughout the off season, or training camp rather, the preseason, all throughout the season. We're going to be doing giveaways. Best believe that. And the giveaways start today. So here's the thing, man. We have, as of right now, we have 16 people in the live stream right now. I need you guys first and foremost to hit that like button, right? That like button is going to allow more people to find the show. So I need at least 50 people in the live stream so I can start doing my giveaways. We have 16 people in the live stream thus far on YouTube. I think Twitter changed their rules. Now you need to have a premium subscription to go live on Twitter, which is crazy now. So it is what it is. I ain't tripping about that. But again, as of right now, we got about 15, 16 people in here in this live stream. I want to start doing giveaways today. That's what I want to start, right? And I want you guys to continue to smash that like button. But this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do, right? This is what I'm going to do. All of you guys, I would imagine all of you guys follow me on Twitter, right? I would imagine all you guys follow me on Twitter. So here's the rule. Because we're going to start doing giveaways right away. We're starting right away. We're not wasting any time. I want to take care of the people that's locked in right now. Okay? So this is what we're doing. So let's see who we got here. We got Doomsday in the building. We got Nina Austin, M. Johnson, J Dog, Mick Gusto, Brian Grant, Andrew Duty, Weapon X. We got a lot of people. Bro Brew, David Mac Perez. Okay. Here's the game plan. All right. I want you guys to email me. That's how we're going to do this thing. We're going to, because I meant to do this before. I want to make sure I take care of all my people. So what I'm going to do is I want to have you guys send me an email, right? You're going to email me, and then we're going to do it that way, okay? It's going to be a code word and everything. So give me a second here, all right? Give me a second. All right. Let me ask y'all a question here. Would you guys prefer the giveaway be done via email or via Twitter? That's what I want from you guys. Via email or via Twitter. Like I said, we're going to get into the content. Don't worry. But I just want to make sure I do my giveaways properly with my people. Let's see. Doomsday says email. John Wilson says email. Hawk It Up says email. Email. Okay. All right. Okay, we're going to do email then. We're going to do it via email. We're going to do it via email. Okay. All right. All right. I think we're good to go, you guys. All right. So I'm typing the email in now. Here's the catch, though. Okay. I'm going to tell you guys the catch. Sorry about the hold up, you guys. Had to take care of some technical difficulties. Roll with me, roll with me, roll with me. If you guys are just joining the live stream, thank you guys so much. Please smash that like button. You guys, like I mentioned before, we're going to be doing giveaways all year long. I got hats, beanies, gloves, keychain, lanyards. We're doing giveaways all year long. I need to get rid of all this Eagles gear that I bought for you guys, okay? So I want to make sure I take care of my people. I know I took 2 or 3 weeks off. I know that. I had some people in town, holidays, 4th of July, all that kind of stuff. And then, I literally just took my dad and my brother to the airport. I had people in, right? So we're going to do it via email, right? So this is how we're doing this. Follow my lead here. Follow my lead here. Okay? I want to see how astute you guys are. So we're starting the show off with a bang. The first 2 people. Here it is. Okay, perfect. There we go. Make sure I got my timer on. Okay. So here's the email. Chalk It Up Sports 52. The first 2 people to email me their first, last name, and their mailing address, they're going to get mailed a gift from yours truly. The first 2 people, the first 2 people to send me an email in the next 10 minutes, the timer has started. The timer has started. The first 2 people to send me an email with their first and last name and their mailing address will get a free gift from me. I told you the giveaways were starting hot. So make sure you guys email me, okay? You got to email me, Chalk It Up Sports 52. That's the email. First name, last name, and your mailing address. Very easy. But you got to make sure you're liked and you're subscribed. I need to know sometimes you better be liked and you better be subscribed. We're giving away stuff here. Like I told you guys, we're doing giveaways all year. I have a ton of stuff to give away. The first 2 people to email me in the next 10 minutes, the countdown is going. In the next 10 minutes, we'll get a gift from me. We'll get a gift mailed from yours truly. Because I appreciate you guys. You guys are always patient. You guys are always rolling with me. You smash that like button. You're subscribed. You always come back to the content whenever I take my little time off. Man, okay, we got the first person. Okay, let's see. Okay, we got action. Okay, I got my first 2 people. I'm not going to cheat it. My first 2 people. So I want to type in the names of the first 2 people. Okay? On the screen. Give me a second, y'all. These are my first two winners. I already got them here. I got my first two people. The first two. I'm taking it serious. My first two people. Where you at? Okay, so all right, make sure I got this right here. Let me star these. Make sure we ain't messing nothing up. Okay, got it. Okay. All right. Okay. Excuse me, you guys. Sorry about that. All right. I think we got our winners. So my first two giveaway winners are none other than Jay Adams and M. Johnson. Jay Adams out of Connecticut, M. Johnson out of California. My man. Fellas. Thank you guys so much for being the first ones to win something. Okay, so I'm going to make sure I got this down packed. I'm doing this thing properly. Let me turn this thing off. Okay. There we go. So Jameer Adams and M. Johnson, they were the first two. Listen, we're going to be doing giveaways all throughout training camp, all throughout preseason, all throughout the regular season. We're doing giveaways all year, so it could be your lucky day at some point. And you never know. I may do another giveaway later in this show. You feel what I'm saying? So again, so far, our first winners are Jameer Adams and Mark Johnson. I repeat, Jameer Adams out of Connecticut, Mark Johnson out of California, man. Okay, so you guys, I'm actually going to email you guys back and let you guys know you won. All right. Right. Excuse me. All right. There we go. All right. Jameer and Mark, I just sent you guys a confirmation email. Okay? So you guys are fully aware of what you guys won here. All right? I sent you guys a confirmation email. Now it's a mystery gift, okay? So I hope you guys like what you get. It's a mystery gift. Like I said, I got a bunch of stuff to give away here, a bunch of Eagles gear, and it's a mystery gift. And if you're just joining the live stream, we just did ourselves a giveaway here. And the first two winners were Jameer Adams and Mark Johnson, respectively here. So I appreciate you guys for locking in on the content. Jameer Adams and Mark Johnson. And like I said, there may be more stuff to give away at the end towards the end of this show. So just make sure you guys keep hitting that like button. Stay on the right side of history, my man. I'm giving away Eagles gear and all that kind of stuff. So it's all good. It's all love. Everyone's going to have a chance to win something. Trust me. We got 39 people on the live stream. Make sure y'all smash that like button. It really means a lot to me. Really appreciate all the help you guys are doing here, making this show go away. So let's move on to the topics here. Again, before we get too deep, smash that like button. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the show. Make sure you guys are engaging, commenting, all the stuff that you got to do, checking me out on Twitter, all that kind of stuff. Make sure you guys are locked in. I really appreciate the love and the support. So make sure you guys smash that like button and are subscribed to the show. All right. Now that we're done with the theatrics, again, Jameer Adams and Mark Johnson are my giveaway winners. And we're going to be doing giveaways all throughout training camp, preseason, and the regular season. And I really appreciate you guys for staying engaged in the content. All right. Enough pleasantries here. Let's get into the topics at hand. Like I mentioned before, training camp is in full effect. And it's about that time for everybody to start to put up. Because we ain't here for the buffoonery. We're not here for the lackluster product. Philadelphia, Eagles fans all over the world. We're here because we expect to see some top-notch football by way of the Philadelphia Eagles. And they have all the talent to get it done, especially on offense. The defense, that is a work in progress, yet we're still optimistic about it. I think that's a reasonable way to break that down. We're going to get into storylines, right? Position battles, Jalen Hurts offseason criticism, Vic Fangio and Kellen Moore's potential impact on the offense and the defense, pressure on Nick Sirianni, right? The 53-man roster and what that could potentially look like. Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni's relationship, Saquon Barkley. We're going to get into a whole bunch of stuff, you guys. We have nothing but time. And we're going to take our time. And we're going to break this down little by little by little. So let's make sure we do this thing right. Excuse me. Let's start. Where should we start? We got a lot to get into. So let's start with training camp first and foremost. So training camp is the first day. The players, they're going to be doing pretty much physicals, and they're also going to be doing conditioning tests. You know, they're pretty much going through all their nutritional, all their medical stuff today, right? Here's basically how it goes. The players report and do their physical check-ins, go through the assessments with the player performance team, taking conditioning tests, and then dive right into it. You know, the clock is ticking. They got Green Bay September 6th in Brazil. It's going to be really insane. They're going to meet with head coach Nick Sirianni for a meeting to set the tone for the off season or to set the tone for training camp. The routine begins: rest, recovery, study, sleep. They come back the next day and be ready to hit the practice field. So there's going to be a lot of stuff being thrown at these guys. Obviously, OTAs, mandatory minicamp, laid a lot of the groundwork. But this is competition time now. This is where every snap in training camp and joint practices and preseason, every opportunity you have is being measured against you, be it positively or negatively. We've seen people in training camp change their fortune, right? A guy like Brent Covey, a guy that really wasn't highly touted, found a way on the Eagles roster as a punt returner because he made slight impacts in training camp, preseason, so on and so forth. He earned that position, right? Guys in training camp look for opportunities to compete. And let's get into some of the position battles that we already have at the forefront here, right? Some people may look at some of these position battles and say, I don't really see it. I don't really believe it. I think it's a different kind of battle here. But hear me out here, right? Excuse me. So, just starting with the position battles that we're going to be watching in the offseason. Right guard starting spot. Now, I believe it's Tyler Steen's spot to lose, but you never know how things may shape up, right? Trevor Keegan, Matt Hennessy, how will that look? It all remains to be seen. But I think that spot is Tyler Steen's unless he just has this crazy fall off. So I'm rolling with Tyler Steen at right guard, but still it's a position battle nonetheless. At cornerback, right? Other than Darius Slay being solidified in the CB1 spot, you have two guys who are vying for that role. Isaiah Rodgers the guy who's finally been reinstated into the NFL, was suspended for gambling when he was with the Colts, and then he was ultimately cut by the Colts. He has an opportunity here with the Philadelphia Eagles to be a starter, especially at that starting spot opposite Darius Slay. Isaiah Rodgers has done an amazing job so far throughout OTAs and mandatory minicamp. He's been making a name for himself. He's been flying all over the football field, making plays. So Isaiah Rodgers is in good standing right now in terms of competition, but he has an uphill battle because the Philadelphia Eagles drafted the number one cornerback in the 2024 NFL draft in Quinion Mitchell. They drafted that player with the sole intent of getting him on the football field. You don't draft a DB that high and not get him on the football field as soon as possible, unless it's injury related, right? So again, Quinion Mitchell, the product out of Toledo, a physical specimen, strong, fast, quick, great instincts, solid hands, twitchy, knows how to mirror defenders. He's a very technically sound player that has unique athletic gifts. Both players are competing with each other for that spot, and I think both players have shown that they are hungry for that role. But it's going to come down to whoever Vic Fangio believes he can trust when it's all said and done. Isaiah Rodgers obviously has more NFL caliber experience than Quinion Mitchell, but Quinion Mitchell also has the draft stock behind him. He also has the fact that he's just a more physically imposing DB. So when you think about it from that perspective, I mean, both players have different things working in their favor. And then also, my man Harris France even brought it up, right? You can't forget about Ringo. And Quinion Mitchell and Ringo, in my opinion, I believe in the perfect scenario, they are the future. I think the perfect scenario for the Philadelphia Eagles beyond this season is Quinion Mitchell and Keelan Ringo being their starting corners. Both of those guys being on rookie contracts. But that's another conversation for another day. You still got Ringo, who's competing. But I think Ringo likely will be a backup to Darius Slay or Quinion Mitchell. And me personally, I think Quinion Mitchell is going to win out the position. I think he's shown that he's ready for the position. Obviously, a lot of things have to happen, preseason, training camp, but so far so good, right? So far he's been living up to the billing. Also, they drafted him in the first round. You invest that much equity into a player, especially at that position. You've already made it very clear that you're going to move on from James Bradbury, in my humble opinion. You made that very clear. So, with all that being in play, I just think the Eagles have to start Quinion Mitchell. But at the same time, part of my brain says, damn, I want the most productive player on the field. I want the player you trust most on the field, right? Is that Isaiah Rodgers and is that Quinion Mitchell? I think that all remains to be seen. But Quinion Mitchell being drafted where he was drafted and Isaiah Rodgers, them not having too much invested in him right now, I think Quinion Mitchell may be the safe bet for that starting spot opposite Darius Slay. That's just my opinion, though. Some people may feel differently. But I think that's going to be Quinion Mitchell's spot. And Isaiah Rodgers, they're going to find other unique ways to get him on the field. But I've also heard that they've even tried using Quinion Mitchell in big nickel situations, just getting him moving around the field. I've seen things like that. I mean, we really don't know. Training camp is going to tell us everything. An injury may change everything. We're all speculating here. But I think it's going to be a hell of a competition for right guard and the cornerback spot, even the nickel corner spot, right? Can't forget about that. You got Avonte Maddox competing for that spot. You got Tyler Hall. You have Cooper DeJean, Mario Goodrich, Zach McPherson. You have players who are competing here. Some of those names you guys may not even think highly of, but Avonte Maddox, Cooper DeJean, Tyler Hall, they're all competing for that spot. Zach McPherson, Mario Goodrich, they're all competing. Sean Stephens, everyone's competing here. Avonte Maddox and Cooper DeJean obviously have the most equity put in them, or they have the highest stock right now, in my opinion. Avonte Maddox obviously has experience with the team, has probably the most experience in the nickel spot out of anybody on the roster. So he already has a leg up. Cooper DeJean being the rookie. They drafted him in the second round. The Eagles love what they have in him as far as the versatility. His ability to be used all over the field, right? The nickel, the outside corner, the safety spot, big nickel. He's a big body, he's a physical kid. He's athletic as hell, has a ton of speed. You can even use him in punt return if you so choose. But the Eagles have options there, but I think that's going to come down to either Avonte Maddox or Cooper DeJean, in my humble opinion. That's how I'm looking at that. But regardless, you got a ton of bodies of people competing in the DB room. Even at safety, you got players competing at safety to play opposite C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Will it be Reed Blankenship? Will Sidney Brown actually be ready when the season starts? That all remains to be seen, right? Mekhi Gardner, he's been moved to safety. Can he compete? Will Avonte Maddox actually be moved to safety? And then maybe Cooper DeJean is at nickel. Can Cooper DeJean compete for the safety spot, right? We have so many situations to account for. But the reality is, everybody has to compete. Everybody has to battle. You have a new coordinator in Vic Fangio who is looking at everybody as if you got to, I don't care what they pay you. I don't care where you was drafted. You got to earn it with me. Everybody that was on this roster before I got here, hey, listen, you got to earn it with me. Unless you're just a bona fide talent, you got to earn it with me. But then again, you ask yourself, really, does that even matter? Because the Eagles moved on from Hassan Reddick, and we're going to get into that later on. Hassan Reddick is in a pickle with the Jets right now. But they were willing to move on from Hassan Reddick for Vic Fangio. I'm not saying Vic Fangio pushed him out the door, but Vic Fangio clearly didn't make it known that he wanted him. That's a highly productive player. I digress. So, position battles at right guard, corner, safety. Excuse me. Can't forget wide receiver 3. I think that's one of the more exciting spots because a lot of people are looking forward to seeing how that pans out, right? You got Paris Campbell, who wants that spot. You got John Ross, who wants that spot. Aeneas Smith. You got Johnny Wilson, who wants that spot. Joseph Ngata. You feel what I'm saying? You got a ton of bodies, a ton of people who are competing for that spot here. And as of right now, the depth chart that I'm looking at, they have Paris Campbell slated in that spot. Granted, not guaranteed. Anything can happen. I feel like there's a thin line between Paris Campbell and John Ross right now. I'm not, one may be more talented than the other, but I don't think either of them have done anything astronomically well to force the Philadelphia Eagles to say, oh no, that's our guy. They got to go through training camp still, and that's why we're here. Today was the first day. And obviously there's not going to be any on-field observations. All those guys are just getting their medical stuff done. But the reality is training camp is where all the competition is going to happen. The Eagles are going to get a lot out of Paris Campbell and John Ross, especially during joint practices. The Eagles, most of these NFL teams actually now put a lot more stock in the joint practices than they do the preseason games. That I don't really I will never understand that. Though they say it's because they can manufacture situations and scenarios, and it allows them to see what a player will do in that situation or scenario. But I believe there's no greater gauge for a player than live action reps. That's my humble opinion. But sometimes you're not going to always get an opportunity to be in the red zone in the preseason game. You may not get an opportunity to return a punt, or you can't manufacture situations in real life football. So I do understand their mindset, right? I understand in theory what they're trying to do, but everybody got a plan until they get punched in the face. And in those joint practices, they're not really getting punched in the face. They playing with Nerf balls. You know what I'm saying? They playing with Nerf footballs. I say that facetiously and tongue-in-cheek, but the overall point is joint practice, okay, I see you value it, but don't completely dismiss the preseason, man. You got a lot of guys out there who are playing for their natural born lives. They're playing for food to be put on the table. They're playing for checks. They're playing for livelihood. They're trying to feed their kids. Like it's. I don't take the preseason lightly like most people do. I just don't because when you have people who are playing for more than just glory, they're playing for livelihood. They playing because rent due at the first of the month. They playing because they got to feed their baby. They playing because wifey breathing down their neck. Oh yeah, you better believe that the preseason is the real deal, and those guys gonna be hitting. You know how many people get injured in the preseason, season ending, whatever it may be? I don't take the preseason lightly at all. At all. And nobody ever will be able to convince me to do so. You got too many players out there fighting for more than just glory. Fighting for more than there's no preseason Super Bowl, preseason conference championship, preseason division winners. There's none of that. It's job or no job. You get me? It's job or no job. It's you're hired or you're fired. It's very, very simple. If you guys are just joining the live stream, thank you guys so much. Make sure you smash that like button. Also, make sure you guys are subscribed to the content, especially if you're new. That means a lot to me. And earlier, I just got finished doing my first giveaway. We're giving away, like I told you guys, we're going to be giving away a ton of Eagles gear here, all throughout training camp, all throughout preseason. I got a ton of stuff here that I'm giving away all throughout the season, and more stuff as well. There's even going to be some jerseys given away when the season starts. So just wait on it, right? Really can't wait to keep that going. Our first giveaway winners was Jameer Adams out of Connecticut and Mark Johnson out of California. I really appreciate those guys for being active as well. Really appreciate those gentlemen. So we have a ton of things to give away here. And I just want you guys to know everyone's going to have an opportunity to win stuff. Everyone's going to have an opportunity because we're going to be doing this all year. So I do want to thank Andrew, Jonathan, the real RMP, Brian, Dylan. I appreciate you guys for emailing me as well. Unfortunately, this wasn't the go around for you guys, but just know more opportunities are coming. And the only way you can get an opportunity is if you guys are locked into Chalk It Up Sports every time I go live. Every time content's put up there, every time we're live streaming, you got to be on the lookout for the giveaways. Otherwise, you may miss your opportunity. So again, I appreciate you guys so much. Jameer, Mark, you guys won. You guys are going to be sent a mystery Eagles gift from yours truly, Tone DeShields II at Chalk It Up Sports. So we're going to have a lot of fun. Shout out to my man Joey Shakes in the building. Joey Shakes in the building. It's finally here, baby. It's finally here. It's that time. It's that time. Dana Scott says, are we ready for some Eagles training camp? I know that's right, sis. I know that's right. David at JFK MLK says, great points on preseason. Absolutely. You know, the preseason, I take it very seriously. So, yeah, again, we have a ton of storylines to get into here. We were talking about position battles for wide receiver 3. I think Paris Campbell and John Ross, it's either going to be one of those guys most likely. But then again, Anea Smith could be a dark horse. I don't think Johnny Wilson, personally, I don't think he's a slot receiver. He's an outside receiver. I don't. Johnny Wilson is such a big body. I don't know if they see him in the slot. I don't know if he has the quickness or the speed they're looking for at that position. And then we got the linebacker position. Nakobe Dean is competing with Zach Bond. I think Devin White is likely going to be the starter at inside linebacker. But Zach Bond, Nakobe Dean, that is the wild card, right? Zach Bond clearly was getting most of the first team reps in OTAs and mandatory minicamp. Nakobe Dean was getting second team reps, and then also they would rotate, they would mix and match. So again, I know I've joked a lot about Nakobe Dean standing right now, especially with Zach Bond being in the building. But the reality is Zach Bond hasn't earned anything yet. Nakobe Dean hasn't earned anything yet. Devin White hasn't earned anything yet. You need your most experience. You need your most polished. You need the players on the field that you trust the most on the football field. And I think it all remains to be seen about how that position battle is going to go. You also have guys like Oren Burks. You have Ben Van Sumeren, Jeremiah Trotter Jr. You got some things. You got some things in the works here. You got a ton of talent all across the board. It's just a matter of who do you trust most to get the job done. And I think Devin White is one of those guys that they're going to have. And I think it's a toss-up between Nakobe Dean and Zach Bond. That's what I think. I think that's the toss-up here. I think that's the gag right there. All right. It's got these shades, man. Sometimes they're a little over the top. Okay. So, where were we? Davon Tyree says, Tone, are you feeling the whole Justin Simmons thing after the Cindy Brown situation? Interesting. Interesting. Let's see. All right. So what I'm reading here, it says Sidney Brown will begin training camp on the PUP list. Wow. Okay. Listen to this, though. It says the benefit of the PUP list is that a player is eligible to come off of it during training camp, or if the team deems it necessary after the first 4 games of the regular season. Once the regular season starts and the player remains on the PUP list, they must spend the first 4 weeks on the PUP list, and they will not count toward one of the 53 roster spots. They would still count toward one of the 90 roster spots while on the PUP during training camp. Oh, interesting. Interesting. So this can give the Philadelphia Eagles an opportunity to bring an additional player. Huh. Well, we know Eddie Jackson just got taken off the market, right? Justin Simmons, he's still on the market. See, this is the part where teams got to play chicken with some of these players, and they got to be patient and wait till an injury happens. But there's a chance the Eagles sign another safety. There's a strong chance about that. Tyree, do you not have any confidence in Reed Blankenship? Let me ask you that question. What's your confidence level in Reed Blankenship? Kyle Kokorski was good, man. He says, hey, Tone, just jumping in. Appreciate you, my man. Make sure you smash that like button. Jameer Adams says Justin Simmons would be a great pickup. Hey, it wouldn't hurt us. Wouldn't hurt us. Wouldn't hurt us at all. So, yeah, man. Position battles all across the board. Right guard, cornerback, nickel corner, safety, wide receiver 3, linebacker. Position battles all across the board, man. I want to talk to you guys. I want to talk to you guys about a topic that's kind of been gnawing at me, and I've been trying to ignore the noise about it because I don't take none of it too seriously. I want to get into the recent reports about Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni's relationship. Now, this isn't something that me personally, I feel like is news. But the word around town is Jalen Hurts grew to be, I don't know, agitated by Nick Sirianni. The rumor is that there was a disconnect. there was a disconnect between the two players. Now, remember, there was a press conference where Jalen Hurts didn't necessarily go out of his way to give Nick Sirianni a glowing endorsement, right? He didn't go out of his way to give him a glowing endorsement, but the word around town is Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hurts were not on the same page. And this came by way of a recent report by Diana Rossini of The Athletic. It says here, and this is, quote, "We've seen Jalen Hurts on the sideline with Nick Sirianni, and they were not going at one another. But there was definitely a difference in personality. The way I would describe it, the relationship is still a work in progress. Last year, there was some disconnect between them. Due to their personalities, Nick, we've seen, is a very emotional guy. Jalen is a very private guy. They are different human beings, which is fine. You don't all have to be the same, but you do have to be on the same page when it comes to what you want to do on offense." Absolutely, right? I'm not of the mindset that, oh, because Nick Sirianni is a passionate or emotional guy, that means that Jalen Hurts can't be himself or vice versa, right? I do believe in connections. I do believe in relationship. I do believe in chemistry. And me personally, I have always wondered. I have always wondered what those conversations are like between Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hurts behind closed doors when it's just the two of them, not anybody else listening, not Howie in the building, not other coaches. I've always wondered what that relationship was like between Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni. I've always wondered what those conversations look like and how the other perceives the others, respectively, their intentions or their motive. Because football or being in the NFL, this isn't just a football business. This is a people business. And in order to make it on that level, or in order to be successful, you have to be able to navigate and toe the line of friend and associate. You have to toe that line between peer and coach. So these coaches are getting younger. Some of these players are older than some of these coaches. You dig what I'm saying? But Hurts is in his mid-20s. Nick Sirianni's in his 40s. That's a clear difference in age, right? But Nick Sirianni kind of conducts himself like a youth. Very excitable, very passionate, very brazen and raw with his emotions. Jalen Hurts is a lot more reserved, calm, cool, collected. Doesn't really jump off the deep end. You never really know what he's thinking or what he's feeling at any given moment. He's a wild card, right? You never really know with him. He's very measured, hard to read. Nick Sirianni is not that. And there's been plenty times where we've seen Nick Sirianni acting one way and Jalen Hurts kind of looking at him like, come on, man, what are you doing? Remember in the Super Bowl, Nick Sirianni got a little too excited. And Jalen Hurts was like, come on, man, come on. What are you doing? We've seen it. So me personally, I don't need these two gentlemen to be best friends. I don't need that at all. I need them to have a working relationship that's conducive enough for the football field, that can breed success on the football field. I don't need Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni going on, double dates with their respective women. I don't need that. I don't need these guys ego stroking each other. I don't need that. I need these guys to have a working relationship on and off the football field. I don't give a damn about nothing else. Sorry. Their personal lives is of no concern to me because that's not my fucking business. Their personal lives mean nothing to me. I do wish them well in whatever endeavor or whatever it is they're going through, right? I am a human. I do wish them well. I do wish them good fortune. But as far as knowing what's going on with them, that's not my business. But I believe what is our business is their ability to make things happen on and off the football field. I think that is our business because as fans, as supporters, as spectators, we invest a lot of our own time and resources into the product. We pay for concessions, we pay for parking, we pay for the tickets, we pay for all this damn merchandise, right? You dig me? We do all of that to show our allegiance, to show our support for the organization, for the players. We buy their own merch from their own personal websites. Some of y'all send y'all kids to their off-season summer camps and workshops. Some of y'all go off the deep end on social media defending them. So their working relationship, how it amounts on the football field, that is our business. Their personal relationship, their personal conversations about their personal lives, none of my business. I don't care. I don't care if y'all can't stand each other. But does the business work? That's the question. Does the business work? You know what? I don't always need to be in business with people I like or that I love. I need to know, can I trust you to get this job done? Like and love has nothing to do with trust. And I think that's potentially what was lacking in the 2023 season. Follow me here. We cooking with gas. You guys are locked in on Chalk It Up Sports, where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just got to charge us to the game or start charging to the game. Excuse me. Keep smashing that like button. Stay locked in. We cooking with gas here. Like and love ain't got nothing to do with trust. You follow me here? Cannot trust you to get this job done. I ain't gotta like you. I ain't gotta love you. I don't need you I don't need you coming home to my house for dinner. Can I trust you to get this job done? You sure can. Our relationship may be trash, but our working relationship, how we handle business, how we conduct ourselves, that can lead to things. That can lead to success. So that's all I care about. I don't need to be best friends. I'll leave that for the players. That's my personal perspective about that. But all off season, Jalen Hurts, his leadership has been in question, and me personally, I don't understand it. Ray Lester says as long as they communicate well between them, that matters most. Between them, that's what matters most. I agree. M. Johnson says Jalen was raised by a head coach and was coached by a legend of Nick Saban. As much as I love Sirianni, he couldn't make late season adjustments to help Jalen on the team. M. Johnson, you brought up a very good point, my friend. You brought up a very good point. And here's the angle I want to take with that, right? Jalen Hurts was coached by his father. He was coached by Nick Saban. And I believe he was coached by Lincoln Riley. I would like to argue, and he was coached by Shane Steichen and Doug Peterson. I would like to think Jalen Hurts, in his very young life, has had the opportunity to be coached by some of the best coaches that the game can offer. I would like to believe that Jalen Hurts, thank you again, M. Johnson, for this nugget. I would like to think that Jalen Hurts knows exactly what he likes and doesn't like in a head coach. I would imagine Jalen Hurts knows what it looks like for his coaches to know how to make adjustments, or knows what a coach is supposed to look like. That's the part that we don't talk about enough. I'm glad M. Johnson brought it up. Jalen comes from that school of stoic, calm, cool, collected leaders. You can see it in how he carries himself. His father, Nick Saban, Lincoln Riley. He comes from that stoic, calm, cool, collected demeanor. That's been ingrained in him. So I can't knock Jalen Hurts for being who he is, especially based off of who taught him the game at the highest level. I can't argue with how he carries himself. But I also believe there's more than one way to get the job done. And I also believe that Sometimes you need puzzle pieces to fit rather than the puzzle pieces being the same, right? My man PFT says something that's kind of close. That's kind of close to that. He says, "You mean the same dry and stoic Jalen Hurts and the same immature Sirianni that took us to a Super Bowl?" I see what he's doing here. He's challenging my thought process in terms of the type of coach that Jalen Hurts would prefer. And I'm not here to say what Jalen Hurts would prefer or would he not prefer. I can't speak for him. But what I can do is I can go off of what he's used to and what he's been dealing with as of late. And I can question whether or not that's his cup of tea or not. I can't determine what he likes and doesn't like. But I can just go off of what he has experienced and what he's been dealing with Nick Sirianni and can measure, try to conclude how he would maneuver in that situation. You see, here's my thing, right? And shout out to my man PFT. Make sure you guys go check out his content. He's very legit in what he does. I love what my man Pro Fan Talk does. Coach Marcus, he's amazing. But here's the thing, right? Nick Sirianni's personality. We love it when, like my man Pro Fan Talk says, we're going to a Super Bowl. We love it then. We love Nick Sirianni's. We love Nick Sirianni's personality when we're winning. And then, there are some people who just don't like it at all, but you follow me here. We like the personality when they're winning by Nick Sirianni. We like that shit when they're winning. We like that. We like that cocky, talky, we like that. But when you start to lose and your team is collapsing, we start to look at you funny in the light. We start to look at you a little iffy. We kind of tilt our head a little bit and we try to maneuver it. And it's like, this thing doesn't have the same shine that it used to. This thing that is Nick Sirianni, the personality, the lack of adjustments in the face of adversity, someone who had no answers for the offense. No answers, none. And then reports come out saying that, that was all Nick Sirianni last year. It wasn't Brian Johnson, all that kind of stuff. No shit. When that report came out, I was like, duh. Nick Sirianni was saying it all year. Hey, this is my offense. Brian's just doing what I'm asking him to do. We knew that. So I'm sitting here like, yo, this brother, if we saw he didn't have answers, how do you think Jalen Hurts looking at him? That's the angle I'm trying to get to. Right? And again, I'm not here to judge their relationship personally. I don't know them personally. But it's multiple ways to look at it, right? It's multiple ways to look at it. Also, by the way, let's not forget this too. Nick Sirianni was voted on by his players. They gave him an A grade. They gave Nick Sirianni like an A or a B plus grade, I believe, in Philadelphia. The NFLPA does their polls and their grading system in the offseason. I think they gave Nick Sirianni an A. So that makes so what's going on here? They like him, but they don't know if he can get them over the top. It's a very confusing situation. So I try not to even get too deep into it. I look at it like this, right? Nick Sirianni, you're entering year 4 as the head coach for the Philadelphia Eagles. You've been to the playoffs 3 times. You've been to the playoffs every year. You've been to a Super Bowl. You've won a conference championship. You've won significantly more than you've lost. I can't disrespect the resume. I can't disrespect the results. As a matter of fact, out of all the coaches that were hired during Nick Sirianni's class or run, he's the most successful out of all of them. Is he not? Brandon Staley, fired. Arthur Smith, fired. Robert Saleh on the hot seat. Who else? You follow me here? There were a handful of coaches that were brought in the same time Nick Sirianni got his job. See, we can't keep comparing Nick Sirianni to the likes of Harbaugh and Tomlin, and those guys have been doing it for a long time. I want to compare him to coaches that are in his class. He's outlasted Arthur Smith. He's outlasted Brandon Staley. He's performing significantly better than Robert Saleh. I mean, it has to mean something. We can't just throw Nick Sirianni to the wolves. Now, does he have a lot on his plate this year because of the pressure and his team and everything like that, and how the Philadelphia Eagles take their product very seriously? They fired a Super Bowl winning head coach in Doug Peterson. They fired a legendary head coach in Andy Reid. Say what you want about him. They fired Chip Kelly, and Chip Kelly had 2 10-win seasons in his 3-year stretch with the Philadelphia Eagles. So all I'm trying to say is that Philadelphia Eagles look at your resume and say, okay, I don't give a damn what your resume says. What do I see you doing for me now and later down the line? That's the part that's going to be tough for Nick Sirianni. That's the uphill battle he's going to have, right? But if his offense performs, if the team performs, he's going to be good. You bring in Kellen Moore to make that a lot easier for him. The Eagles are trying to load the deck for Nick Sirianni. They're trying to put him in position, right? You know, another report came out that, you know, Howie and the guys, or Howie in that front office, they're very hands-on with the coaching hires as well. So it's not just a Nick Sirianni decision. I think we all knew that as well because we're so entrenched in the situation. But Nick Sirianni is under tremendous pressure, but Howie Roseman and Jeffrey Lurie, they're trying to give him a fair shot at this. Kellen Moore, you bring him in, has experience calling plays. Vic Fangio, experience calling plays. They're trying to help Nick. They're trying. So we'll see. And my man, Coach Corey, said it best. Winning is the best cologne. That's the truth. My man PFT says, in my opinion, Sirianni was the reason the locker room didn't split. Fascinating. And we're going to talk about this tomorrow, PFT. We're going to talk about this. Me and my man Profan Talk are connecting tomorrow. And we're going to talk about this. I just want him to flush out that opinion when we talk. He says, remember what Fletcher said at the end of the year. Sirianni was taking bullets for him. Fletcher didn't have to say anything, but he did. Fascinating. Fascinating. What kind of bullets are we talking about here, though? Are we talking about him taking the bullets because you guys weren't playing well? But why weren't you guys playing well? Why weren't you guys prepared? Why was the offense predictable? Why was the defense predictable? You know, they didn't. We got to call a spade, right? They didn't enter the 2023 season with any new wrinkles. They thought they could run it back with the same offense and things would be fine. They thought that. They thought they would be able to run it back and nobody would catch up to what they was doing. This is the NFL. At some point, everybody catch on to what you're doing. It's very simple here. My man S. Blunt, he says, Tone checking in from the Bahamas on vacation, big dog. Hey, what go on? Yo, my man. That's what's up, S. Blunt. Hope you're having a good time, man. Drink a mimosa, drink up for me, man. Have a good time, good brother. Have a good time. You know, for all you guys just hopping in, like my man S. Blunt here, make sure you guys smash that like button. Make sure you guys stay locked in on the content. Earlier, we did a giveaway, my first giveaway. I want to give a shout out to Jameer Adams and Mark Johnson from Connecticut and California, respectively. Those two guys were my first set of giveaway winners, right? So Jameer Adams and Mark Johnson, they're going to win something out of this mystery box here. Okay, I got a ton of Eagles gear here that I'm giving away, and these fellas are going to win, or have won rather, a mystery gift, and it's going to be coming in the mail to those guys. I just gotta take my behind to the post office. But I appreciate you guys, man. Jameer Adams and Mark Johnson were my first giveaway winners. We're going to be doing giveaways all throughout training camp, all throughout preseason, the regular season as well, the playoffs. See what I did there? All the way on our road to the Super Bowl. It's going to be a hell of a season, you guys, and I have so much stuff to give away. Like I said, we're going to be giving away stuff all throughout training camp, preseason, regular season, playoffs. We're going to be doing all that kind of stuff, and I appreciate you guys. My brother Mike, what's going on, Mike? Hope all is well, my guy. Hope all is well. But I will say this though, I don't think the Eagles did themselves any favors, overhauling that defensive coordinator position last year. But nonetheless, we're in a new year. So yeah, the Jalen Hurts Nick Sirianni relationship is going to be something to look out for. Another thing I want to tap into is just the overall criticism that Jalen Hurts has been getting. And again, we have a lot more topics to get into. Please make sure you guys smash that like button. It really helps the content grow. I really want to get into some of this criticism that Jalen Hurts has been getting. They've been going ahead leadership. They've been disrespecting what he's done, the skill set. Saying he's not a top 10 quarterback in this league, and he's not even a top 5 quarterback in his conference. I'm blown away. I'm honestly blown away. I understand Jalen Hurts didn't have his best season last year, but the way people flipped on him, or the way people were waiting for him to have a hiccup or a hitch in his giddy up, that's what bothers me the most. How somebody can go from being so highly touted, so beloved for his leadership, for how he carries himself as a player, as a man, how dynamic he is on the football field, how he's a player that's constantly always up the ante and always challenged himself. No matter what's been going on, he's always upped the stakes for not only himself, but everybody else around him. Yet this guy is not a top 10 quarterback in the league, not a top 5 quarterback in his conference. Now, look, this is a year-to-year league. And I do understand that this is a what have you done for me lately type of league at that. But I can't sit here and not call Jalen Hurts a top 10 quarterback. I just can't. I'm sorry, I can't. I can't even say he's not top 5 in his conference. I can't even say that. I think that's blasphemous, in my humble opinion. I think Jalen Hurts is going to come into this 2024 season and once again prove a lot of people wrong. But you know what they're going to do next? They're going to say, hey, he got Saquon Barkley now, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert. He better be doing what he's doing. And my thing is like, damn. Last time I checked, Devontae Smith had a career year with him. A.J. Brown had career years back-to-back with him. Miles Sanders had a career year with Jalen Hurts. Dallas Goedert had a career year, I believe, under Jalen Hurts. Not last year, but he's had career seasons. He's had a career year in the past with Jalen Hurts as the quarterback. This team has won significantly more games than they've lost without Jalen Hurts or with Jalen Hurts. So I'm trying to understand how people are trying to dismiss what Jalen Hurts provides. That's the part that blows my mind. I don't understand the thought processes. They say Jalen Hurts is a product of the talent around him. But the Eagles have lost every single game Jalen Hurts has not played in. On top of that, again, A.J. Brown, career year with Jalen Hurts. Career year. Devontae Smith, same thing. Miles Sanders, same thing. DeAndre Swift, same thing. So how are we making sense of this, right? Because every quarterback needs talent around him. Unless you're Patrick Mahomes. I mean, you could turn a popsicle stick into a Super Bowl champion with him. But every quarterback, for the most part, wants talent. They want to play with good players. It's just that simple. Now, am I going to sit here and say Jalen Hurts is the most talented quarterback in the league? No, it's not true at all. Not even close. I don't think Jalen Hurts is the most talented quarterback in the league. I don't. But he's talented, and he has a unique skill set that allows him to do his job the way he does his job. Right? This is the NFL. There are different types of quarterbacks all across the spectrum, all across the Rolodex. You take your pick. Every quarterback has certain things about their game that makes them unique or makes them special or sets them apart, right? But Jalen Hurts has an NFL-level arm. He has NFL-level accuracy. He's mobile. He's a dual-threat quarterback, a quarterback that can extend drives for you. He's a third-down machine. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the league in terms of converting third and fourth down. He's one of the more efficient quarterbacks in the league. He's one of the more accurate quarterbacks in the pocket. The numbers tell you that. So I'm not buying, he's not a top 10 quarterback in the NFL. Miss me with that. That man is a former second-team All-Pro, two-time Pro Bowler, made it to a Super Bowl, balled out despite the loss. I can't sit here and not call Jalen Hurts a top 10 quarterback. His production looks different, right? But last year, that brother had 38 touchdowns with over 4,500 yards of total offense, or over 4,400 yards of total offense. 38 touchdowns, over 4,400 yards of total offense. Wins games. I don't understand. So I'll say this. Jalen Hurts is coming for blood this year. I believe that. I believe Jalen Hurts is going to have a crazy season. I think Jalen Hurts is going to have a tremendous season. You know, in spite of his 2023 season, just staying on the Jalen Hurts topic, has Hurts earned himself the benefit of the doubt entering the 2024 season? I want to get your perspective on that. In your opinion, despite his 2023 season, has Jalen Hurts earned himself the benefit of the doubt entering his 2024 season? The real RMP says Jalen is a top 10 quarterback. If he can bring them turnovers down, he will be an MVP candidate. And you know what's so crazy about it, RMP? He's only had 1 year in his career where he's had those kind of turnovers. Other than that, it's been 6 or 7 turnovers. Like he's an efficient player. He just had a rough go of it protecting the ball last year. He had a rough go of it. That's all. He had a rough go of it. But I'm not going to indict him for that, because if you go down every quarterback's resume, they have that season under their belt where they had more turnovers than they normally would. We've seen it. So it's not an indictment for him to have a turnover heavy season. It happens. It happens. So I'm not going to down him for that. But I agree, RMP. He's top 10 for sure. M. Johnson says Jalen was hurt all season last year, but still was an Iron Man. Yeah, I actually believe he was hurt as well. I don't think he was 100% at all I think he was nursing something, and he kept it to himself. I really believe that he was nursing something in the Eagles, and though that whole organization did a hell of a job, but finagling the injury report. Philly Entertainment says they better get their defense ready to defend our offense. Exactly. They talking to all the people talking crazy about the Eagles. You better cuff your chick, because it ain't gonna be simple. Benny Boom says, I feel like Kellen Moore is going to make the offense fearful. Is going to make the offense fearful for other defenses. Absolutely. Absolutely. I think, Benny, I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that. I think I think Jalen has a hell of a season this year. I really do. My man Mike, he says, I don't want to make any predictions about Hurts. Dude made it to the Super Bowl. Some of the greatest quarterbacks don't even have that under their belts. He's just got to come out and swing this. I agree. I like that perspective. I love that perspective. And by the way, let me make sure. I almost forgot. To give Doomsday his wrench for donating, and Weapon X their wrench for donating. So yeah, shout out to Doomsday Corner and Weapon X Eagles Media for donating $5 to the channel. I just gave you guys wrenches, so I appreciate you guys. Anyway, yeah, I agree, Mike. I agree. Predictions or expectations kind of, just lead you to be disappointed. But I'll do the predictor for you. I think Jalen Hurts is going to have a really good season. He's done some things that other quarterbacks dreamed of doing, and I agree. He just got to come out swinging. He got to come out swinging. And I think the Philadelphia Eagles got to get that running game going. I really believe that. And that goes for every team in the NFL. But before I get too far, right? Before I get too far, I do want to stay in the prediction arena. And I do want to give you guys my own prediction for Jalen Hurts, right? I do believe Jalen Hurts is going to have a hell of a season, but I want to make sure that you guys are rolling with this. And you guys tell me if I'm off, if I'm wrong, whatever it may be. You guys tell me. So give me one moment here while I get this stuff together. All right. Okay. Because I want to do a stat prediction real quick. I want to get a stat prediction going. All right, let's see. All right. All right. All right. So this is my prediction for Jalen Hurts. I think Jalen Hurts has a very, very good season this year. This is what I think he does. This is what I think he's going to do. And the reason I think these numbers are going to look the way they're going to look is because of the Saquon Barkley Kellen Moore effect. Also, AJ Brown and Devontae Smith, they're coming in. They're coming in a year wiser, a year more polished. Come in, please. They're coming in a year more polished. They're coming in with a lot of expectations. But here's my stat prediction for Jalen Hurts. I think Jalen Hurts is going to complete 67% of his passes this year. I think he goes for about 4,000 passing yards, give or take. I think he goes for about 30 TDs, give or take. 30 pass TDs, excuse me. 7 interceptions. I think those interceptions get cut down tremendously. So yeah, a 67% completion percentage, about 4,000 yards, 30 TDs, 7 interceptions. I also think his rushing yards are going to go down. I think he rushes for about 550, something like that, give or take. I think his rushing touchdowns go down as well because of Saquon Barkley. I think he has 7 rushing TDs, and I think he fumbles the ball 3 times or has 3 lost fumbles. This is my Jalen Hurts stat prediction. This is what I'm rolling with because of how loaded this offense is with the new offensive mind of Kellen Moore. How he's going to open up the passing game, how he's going to use Devontae Smith and AJ Brown in more unique situations. You add Saquon Barkley to the fold with that offensive line. I think Saquon Barkley just opens things up so much for the Philadelphia Eagles. He opens up the play action, opens up the RPO. He makes their shotgun that much more lethal. He's a 3-down running back as well. I just think Jalen Hurts is going to benefit tremendously from having a guy like Saquon Barkley with that offensive line. It's going to be insane, and the passing lanes are going to be wide open. And I think Kellen Moore is going to make sure that AJ Brown and Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, all those guys. See, I even forgot about Dallas Goedert. All those guys in that roster, they're going to be in I think the route concepts this season are going to be crazy. The motions, the uniqueness, the creativity. I think Jalen Hurts is going to really benefit this season. And I think he bounces back big time, completing 67% of his passes, 4,000 passing yards, give or take, around 30 passing touchdowns, 7 interceptions, about 550 rushing yards, 7 rushing touchdowns, and 3 fumbles lost. That's what I'm rolling with. Is this stat prediction too gaudy? Is this stat prediction a little too overzealous? Y'all tell me. Shout out to my man Bergang31. Appreciate you. The real RMP says Barkley's going to take a lot of pressure off Jalen, blocking out the backfield and giving Jalen that last check down option. I agree 100%. I think Saquon's presence is going to be off the charts. And we're going to get into Saquon Barkley's stat prediction as well. Don't get it twisted. We're going to get into all of that. But I just think Jalen Hurts is going to have a hell of a season. I'm rolling with him. That's still my guy. And that's just my perspective. Benny Boom says, I have this feeling that Vic Fangio is going to have this defense punching like Rocky in the Apollo fight. I dig it. So, yeah, man, it's going to be a hell of a season to look out for. Training camp is in full effect. We still got some more topics that we want to get into, you guys. You guys aren't getting rid of me just yet. So, hey, my man James Jones, what's going on, my guy? Where are we? So, yes, let's move on from Jalen Hurts. Like I said, I think Jalen Hurts takes a significant step forward, and I think Kellen Moore and Saquon Barkley are going to really, really open things up for him and the other players as well. I think this is a recipe for success for Jalen Hurts with that running back. All right, moving on though. Excuse me here. I want to talk to you guys about Saquon Barkley. Now, Saquon has had a fascinating offseason. Mainly because the Giants on Hard Knocks, and they look insane. I got to be honest with you guys. The Giants look insane on Hard Knocks. And Saquon Barkley is looking like a genius. Here's the rub, right? So apparently, you saw Joe Shane and the Maras. You saw them talking about the Saquon Barkley situation and how, the rumor is Saquon's been offered a major contract by the Philadelphia Eagles or other teams, whatever Joe Shane said. There's a rumor that I think the Bears or the Eagles are making a strong push for him. And, Mara, he made it very clear. He says, it's going to be hard for me to sleep at night if Saquon Barkley signs with the Eagles. He's made it very clear to Joe Shane, get it done. I think Mara was looking at Joe Shane like, yo, get it done. And Shane was just like, hey, we'll be okay. We'll be all right. Don't worry about it. We'll be okay. And lo and behold, Saquon Barkley decides to sign with the Philadelphia Eagles. But even prior to that, there was a conversation between Shane and Barkley over the phone. Shane basically was like, hey, listen, why don't you go out and test your market and then come back to us, right? You'll do us that favor, right? Come back to us. And Saquon was like, okay, all right. And things happened the way it happened. But like the way that thing looked, time works. Great point by you. The Giants just made Hard Knocks look like a death sentence. The Giants embarrassed themselves on national television and how they handled that Saquon situation. They looked lost. They looked confused. The other staff members were afraid to hold their heads up. They looked terrible in the situation. There's no way you let Saquon Barkley walk out the door like that. There's no way you allow him to go to Philadelphia where you got to play him twice every single year for the duration of his contract. There's no way you put yourself in that situation on live television. And you got Joe Shane, whatever his name is, you got the GM of the Giants just cheesing and yucking it the hell up on TV as if this thing is cute. As if this thing is cute here. That's insane. They are a mess, James. They are a mess. There was a moment where I thought the Giants GM was all right. There was a moment. But they let that playoff berth get to their head. I'm telling you, they let that playoff berth get to their head. Nonetheless, Saquon Barkley came out and spoke his piece about it. He sat down with Diana Rossini, and I don't know. Diana Rossini, she is plugged into the Eagles organization. She is plugged in. Diana Rossini is plugged into the Eagles. I can't even front. I gotta show her love. I gotta give her kudos, her just due. Make sure you guys continue to smash that like button. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the show. It really means a lot to me for you guys being here. If you guys are just joining, we've covered some of the training camp storylines. We talked about Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni's relationship or lack thereof. We're currently talking about Saquon Barkley's exit from the Giants, how it appeared on Hard Knocks, and now what he's going to do with the Philadelphia Eagles and how good of a season both him and Jalen Hurts are going to have. We talked about Kellen Moore, Vic Fangio. We talked about all that stuff, right? And also, by the way, we did a giveaway earlier. And our lucky winners was Jameer Adams out of Connecticut and Mark Johnson out of California. Those two won mystery items from yours truly, from Tone DeShields II at Chalk It Up Sports. You guys are amazing viewers. Adams and Johnson, they lock in every time I'm live. They're active in the live streams. They're loyal. But don't fret, Eagles fans. Don't fret, football fans. We have a ton of content, or should I say, we have a ton of merchandise to give away. We have a ton of Eagles gear to give away here. I have so much Eagles gear to give away. It's insane. It's insane. And you too could be a lucky winner. All you got to do is tune in every time I go live. Make sure that bell, that notification bell is hit. It lets you know whenever I go live, whenever I drop content. You don't want to be on the wrong side of this thing. You want to win yourself some Eagles merch for the upcoming season? Oh yeah. Subscribe, hit that like button. Make sure you guys are active in the live chat. I'm going to drop my email on the screen as well. Whenever we're doing a giveaway. And then later on, we're going to do code words. Okay? We're going to be doing code words and stuff. It's going to be dope. It's going to be dope. So make sure you guys continue to stay locked in. Shout out to Jameer Adams and Mark Johnson. They are my giveaway winners today. We're going to be doing giveaways throughout the preseason, training camp, all that stuff, the regular season, the playoffs. We're going to be doing giveaways all year, and everyone's going to have an opportunity to win something. Everybody. So just make sure you guys are active in the live streams. You guys don't want to miss out on this. And then Jameer, Mark, when you guys get your merch, take a picture of it. Tag me in it on Twitter, or matter of fact, take a picture, email me the picture, and then we'll show it on the live stream. That's how you do it, okay? So you email me the photo when you get your merch, and then we'll show it. We'll show it on the live stream. Shout out to the good brother, my man Mike. Mike called with the $4.99 donation. He says, "Keep talking, Tone. Got a long ride home." I feel you on that, my man. I feel you on that. Feel that. I dig it. I appreciate you for donating to the channel, brother. I really do. It means a lot to me. I don't take it for granted, not one bit, bro. Thank you so much. James Jones says, James, hey, listen, you want to win some Eagles Gear 2 player? Annette says, late night Tone. Hey, what's going on? We kind of in the middle of the day, but not middle of the day, but you know what I mean. We're in the evening right now, but it's all good. We're going to be live for as long as possible. We're going to be live as long as possible. Shout out to my man JDM Life for being in the building. I appreciate you. Relative Time Works, Benny Boom. Thank y'all so much, man. Lester Johnson, so many others that I appreciate for being here. We're going to keep this thing going. We're going to keep this thing going here. So once again, make sure you guys smash that like button. Make sure you guys are engaged in the content. So yeah, staying on Saquon Barkley, right? Staying on the Saquon Barkley situation here. Saquon, he spoke to Diana Rossini. Had a sit down with her. Had a sit down with her. And basically told her the reality of what went down, right? He said, listen, all that Hard Knocks Giant stuff, that was played up for the cameras. By then, I was already off them. By then, I had no intentions of signing with them. They showed their hand, and they told me exactly who they were. So I had no intention of signing with them. He made that very clear. And I respect that. He says by then we were already, the negotiations were running sour. And on top of that, he didn't take them serious. They weren't serious. He said they re-signed everybody that they felt was integral to that playoff run. Yet I wasn't considered. But it's okay. It is what it is. I'm not rolling with the narrative the Giants try to put out there as well. The Giants try to spread this narrative that, hey, we're willing to match or come close to whatever you're offered or whatever. They weren't serious, not one bit. They weren't serious at all. And it showed in Hard Knocks. That organization is not serious. That organization is a train wreck. That organization is going to be a hot freaking mess. And I'm looking forward to whooping that ass all year long. I'm looking forward to seeing Saquon Barkley run up and down their ass all year long. That's honestly how I'm looking at this thing. All right, so by the way, Saquon, he made the NFL top 100 again this year. He was ranked 86th this year. He was ranked 31st in 2023. So he dropped a ton of slots, but he still made the top 100. To make the top 100 at any position is still a win, no matter where you're ranked. So I think that's dope for him. Now I want to get into a stat prediction. Spreading and choking. What's going on, man? Jeez Louise, some of these names. But listen, I want to give you guys my stat prediction for Saquon Barkley for the 2024 season. Can I do that for you guys? Saquon Barkley, in my humble, no. That's not it at all. That's not it at all. Let me fix that. Sorry about the confusion, you guys. Sorry about that. All right, there we go. There we go. Got it fixed. Okay. Now, here's my stat prediction for Saquon Barkley for the 2020. Oh my God. My dog wants me, you guys. Let me get him. Let me bring him in. Stay tuned, you guys. This dog is insane. Give me a moment here. All right, let's see. Come on. Come on. Come on. There we go. All right. Come here, bud. There we go. He's gotten a lot bigger since you guys saw him, but it's my man. Hey, look, you say what's good to the people. Say what's good, my man. I miss you too. All right. So, anyway, back to the show, you guys. Yeah, my stat prediction for Saquon Barkley, man, over 1,400 rushing yards, 8 touchdowns, 450 receiving yards, and 5 TDs in the air. I think this is the kind of season he's going to have. You know, it's interesting. I'm of the mindset that the Philadelphia Eagles or Saquon Barkley, however you want to slice it, I think Saquon Barkley should average between 18 to 23 touches a game. That's what I think. I think he needs to average between 18 and 23 touches. Now, that's entirely up to the Philadelphia Eagles and how they want to monitor his touches throughout the season. But I want to know what you guys think about this, right? I want to know what you guys think about this. Do you guys think the Philadelphia Eagles, do you think Saquon Barkley needs to average between 18 to 23 attempts or touches? Not attempts, but touches, right? Or just in general, how many touches a game do you want Saquon Barkley having on any given Sunday, right? What are you comfortable working with? How many touches a game do you think Saquon Barkley should have in any given season? Let's see. Davon Tyree says, what's the split with Kenny Gainwell? I didn't think that far ahead, but I just want to know how many touches you want Saquon to have. That can be in the running game, the passing game. I just want to know how many opportunities you guys think he should have in a game to make a play. Spreading says 20 minimum. Okay. JDM says depends on how the game flowing. I think they should keep him healthy and under a workload until playoffs. Interesting. I mean, it does make sense though, right? The workflow or the game flow, the workflow and the game flow is going to dictate everything. But at the same time, right, you can still give me a little bit of a window, right? I said 18 to 23 touches. I think Saquon should average between 18 to 23 touches per game. Now, let me put it in perspective for you guys here. Let me put it in perspective. So, excuse me. For Saquon's career, he's averaged 16 rush attempts per game, and he's averaged 4 receptions a game, right? So if you add that up, Saquon has averaged 20 touches per game for his career. For Saquon Barkley's career, he's averaged 20 touches per game. So I think for me, him averaging between 18 and 23 touches per game is not asking too much. It's not asking for too much. M. Johnson says so many other weapons. I feel you. I feel you on that. But here's the thing, right? The Eagles, excuse me, the Eagles were at their best when they had their running game involved. Remember, you don't want to eliminate the running game. No, it doesn't matter what wide receivers you have, right? You don't want to eliminate your running game. Saquon Barkley is going to be the fire starter. I feel like Saquon Barkley has to be the fire starter every single week. That's my honest opinion. Saquon has to be the fire starter every single week. It begins and it ends with the Eagles' running game. That's when the Eagles are at their best, when the running game is in full effect. I mean, you guys, I know you guys feel me on that here. I know you guys feel me on that. And also, last year, Saquon had 962 rushing yards, but he did have 1312 the year before. I just think, but again, he's never had an offensive line this good. Like I'm trying to factor in every variable into these stat predictions, right? Saquon Barkley is playing with a dual threat quarterback in Jalen Hurts. He's playing with AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, not to mention that offensive line that's still top 5 in the NFL. This offensive line is still deemed to be top 5, even after losing Jason Kelce. Let that sink in. Saquon Barkley has never been in a situation. Never been in a situation that's good. Excuse me. Saquon has never been in a situation that's good. Never. So I think this is a situation where everybody can win. But Saquon is definitely going to benefit, and I think these numbers are reasonable given his situation. And I'm also trying to account for the fact that the Eagles, they still don't pass to the running back as much as you probably would think they would. But I think he's definitely going to be a factor in the passing game. It goes without saying. All right, let me get this down here. What else do I want to talk about with you guys? Let's see what I got on the docket. Okay, we talked about the training camp storylines. We talked about Saquon Barkley. We talked about Jalen Hurts. You know, AJ Brown and Devontae Smith, both of those players, they're entering 2024, both of them respectively. They're entering the season with new money. Man, I don't count. I try my hardest not to pocket watch here. I'm not really into that. But bottom line is, both of these players are entering the season with new contracts, new money. And you ask yourself, right? What should be or could be our expectations for Kellen Moore's usage of these two players? Both of these players have proven that they're at the top of their craft, respectively. Both of these players, AJ Brown and Devontae Smith, I'm talking about, both players have proven that they are a force to be reckoned with and that they're going to put up their numbers regardless, despite the circumstance. Devontae Smith showed that. AJ Brown showed that. Both those players did what they did last year and everything wasn't even working. So imagine if things are working. So what are our expectations for Kellen Moore's usage of both players in AJ Brown and Devontae Smith? I expect to see more creative route concepts. I expect to see plays being strung together. a little bit more continuity or a little bit more fluidity in the play calling. I expect to see a little bit more of an identity, a little bit more just uniqueness in what they're being asked to do. One of the biggest disappointments for me has been the usage of Devontae Smith. I know he puts up his numbers regardless of the circumstance, but I just felt like Devontae Smith was never really given the deepest bag of opportunities to pick from. You know, when we see AJ Brown play with the Philadelphia Eagles, it seems like they make it a point to be creative with him on the field. With Devontae Smith, sometimes I felt like it was either, you know, an out route or a bubble screen, like the occasional deep ball. You know, I just felt like they weren't as creative as they possibly could have been with Devontae Smith, using him in unique ways, motion, all that kind of stuff. I'm really looking forward to seeing what Kellen Moore can do with guys like AJ Brown and Devontae Smith, especially with those guys coming in with new money, new passion behind them. They're healthy. They have been. You got to take that in consideration. On top of that, you guys, Devontae Smith, he did make the 2024 NFL Top 100 list again. In 2023, Devontae Smith was ranked 100th on the list, and this year he's ranked 90th overall in the NFL Top 100. So he jumped 10 spots. That's good for him. That just shows that his respect and everything he brings to the game is being respected at the highest degree amongst the competition. It just shows that Devontae Smith is really, really a man amongst boys, and he's showing that he should be considered one of the best receivers in this game. His peers respect the game. They respect the hustle. It's only a matter of time the rest of the world starts to get it. So Devontae Smith, he made the NFL Top 100 again. He's ranked 90th overall this season. For the previous season. Last year he was ranked 100th overall. So straight like that. Now, I want to get into my stat predictions for AJ Brown and Devontae Smith. I think that's going to be really intriguing as well. Let me put that in here. All right. All right. So here's my stat predictions for AJ Brown and Devontae Smith for the 2024 season. So AJ Brown, I think AJ is going to have 95 receptions, around 1,400 yards, 10 touchdowns. I think Devontae Smith is going to have 90 receptions. I think he's going to have more yards to go around. I think you're going to see more. I think you're going to see more explosive plays with Devontae Smith, more creativity, like I said, and I think he has 7 touchdowns again. I think 7 touchdowns is great real estate to hang around in the NFL. If you're averaging 7 touchdowns a season as a wide receiver in the NFL, I think that's remarkable. I think that's great, especially as the number 2, and you're playing with guys like AJ Brown, Dallas Goedert, Saquon Barkley, Jalen Hurts. You know, you have a ton of talent on that team. You have a ton of options for touchdowns to come through. But I just think, all things considered, and also thinking about the quarterback as well, I think AJ Brown is going to have 10 touchdowns again, and Devontae is going to have 7. And then we're going to get into the Dallas Goedert portion of this, because Dallas Goedert is a player that I think is going to have a really good season as well. All he has to do is stay healthy. But yeah, tell me what you guys think about my stat predictions for AJ Brown and Devontae Smith. Are these numbers reasonable? I kind of looked at their previous numbers over the past couple seasons and tried to do a little bit of an estimate and try to be as realistic as I possibly could, and not just jump out the window. But AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, I think these numbers are very much attainable for these guys. AJ Brown may even give you more, and the explosive plays may even increase. That's another thing as well, right? The explosive plays may go to a whole nother level with Kellen Moore and Saquon Barkley being added to the fold. So it all remains to be seen, but I think these are reasonable numbers. I definitely think Devontae Smith gets a jump in yards, though. More explosive plays are going to come his way without a doubt. Without a shadow of a doubt. My man Twiz says, not bad. I think they both are going to hover around 1,500. Okay. Now, I'm going to get into Dallas Goedert's stat prediction as well. I want you guys to get that. I want you guys to see where I'm going with this here. I kind of want you guys to see where I'm going with this. So, Dallas Goedert, he's a player that I do love, but at the same time, he has disappointed me with the health side of his game. Dallas Goedert has always been aggressive. Kyrie Gary says, I don't hear nobody playing K-Dot no more. Buddy, I guess the GOAT wins again. You're high if you believe you don't hear nobody playing K-Dot anymore. Go outside. Anyway, Dallas Goedert, my stat prediction for him is 75 catches, 850 yards, 6 touchdowns. Now, he can't stay healthy. Like my man Coach just said, like my man Corey just said, he can't stay healthy. But I think this year if he does stay healthy, these are the numbers you're looking at. And I think this is realistic. And if you notice with the stat package I've been giving you guys when it comes to Saquon Barkley, AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, his top 4 options, Jalen Hurts' top 4 options. If you pay attention to the stat package or the stat predictions I've given you for all those players, it's going to add up to a reasonable number, or it's going to add up to my stat predictions for Jalen Hurts. So I try not to just make predictions out of nowhere. I try to make predictions for the skill guys and take into consideration who the quarterback is and what can potentially happen. And with this new look offense with Kellen Moore, and you add Saquon Barkley to the fold, I think AJ Brown and Devontae Smith are going to eat. I think Dallas Goedert is going to have plenty of opportunity to eat, and I think Jalen Hurts is going to benefit from it. Let's keep in mind here, right? Let's keep in mind, Jalen Hurts came very close to throwing for 4,000 yards this year. He came very close. He played 17 games, 352 completions on 538 attempts, completed 65% of his passes. He threw for over 3,800 passing yards, 23 passing touchdowns, 15 interceptions. So I think he cuts the interceptions in half to 7. I think the touchdown count jumps from 23 to about 30, around that number. And I think his passing yards jump to 4,000. Because if you add up the passing yard, if you add up the receiving yards that I showed you of Saquon Barkley, which is 450 receiving yards, AJ Brown, which is 1,450. So 450 plus 1,450, that's 1,900 passing yards, right? 1,900 plus Devontae Smith's 1,300, that brings you to 3,200. 3,200 passing yards between Devontae Smith, AJ Brown, and Saquon Barkley. And then you add in Dallas Goedert's 850 you add in Dallas Goedert's 850 receiving yards to the 3,200 passing yards already, or the 3,200 receiving yards between Barkley, AJ Brown, and Devontae Smith. You add in Dallas Goedert's 850, that brings you to 4,000 yards for Jalen Hurts. I think that's possible, especially if Goddard can stay healthy, especially if he can stay healthy. And those are Jalen Hurts' top 4 options in a passing game: AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, Saquon Barkley. Those are his top 4 options in the passing game. And then I'm not even accounting for the straggler numbers that may go to the wide receiver 3 or 4 or tight end 2 or RB2. I'm not even accounting for those numbers. So in my opinion, with this skill set, with this talent base that the Eagles have on offense, I don't see why Jalen Hurts can't throw for 4,000 yards with this kind of talent, right? If you look at the touchdown count, right? Dallas Goedert 6 touchdowns plus AJ Brown's 10. That's 16 passing touchdowns for Jalen Hurts. Plus Devontae Smith 7, right? That's 23. That's 23 passing touchdowns between AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, and Dallas Goedert. That's 23 touchdowns in the air. And then you throw in Saquon's 5 receiving touchdowns. 23 plus 5 is 28. And then again, I'm not accounting for the straggler touchdowns you may get from a wide receiver 3 or a tight end 2 or RB2 in the passing game, right? I don't see why Jalen Hurts can't get 30 passing touchdowns with this offense. I don't see a scenario where he should have any less than 28. I don't see that scenario, especially if the running game is working, the passing game is benefiting from that. I don't see a scenario where Jalen Hurts has less than 28 passing touchdowns. It's hard for me to see a scenario where Jalen Hurts has less than 4,000 passing yards. And again, this is only if Dallas Goedert can't stay healthy. If Dallas Goedert can stay healthy, then I definitely think Jalen Hurts gets over 4,000 passing yards. I definitely think Jalen Hurts gets close to 30 passing touchdowns, if not more. I believe that. And also, by the way, I want to make sure this is known too. I'm not looking at Jalen Hurts' stats and saying that's the end-all be-all. I'm not saying that. I'm just making predictions. But when I look at Jalen Hurts, I look at him to win games. I look at him to be efficient. I look at him to be effective in the passing game and the run game. He's a dynamic quarterback. So for me, I'm just looking for quality production. But I'm also just making my own personal predictions in terms of each individual player's stats because of their caliber, because of the players they're playing with. You know, I don't live and die by stat predictions. I don't live and die by stats. But I do want to see my players be efficient and effective. The 2 E's, in my opinion. Efficient and effective. That's what I care about. That's really all I care about, if I'm being completely honest with you guys. All right. What else do I want to get into? Let's see here. No, I'll say that for another time. I do want to get into the Hassan Reddick drama in New York with the Jets. I do want to tap into that, right? I'm of the mindset that the Philadelphia Eagles probably dodged the bullet here. I think they dodged the bullet. Now, I think Hassan made it very clear that he wanted a new contract. He wanted more money, all that kind of stuff. He made that very clear. And the Eagles clearly weren't willing to move off the number that they wanted to give him. So therefore, they traded him to the Jets for a future second-round pick or something like that. A future second, third-round pick, if I'm not mistaken. They traded him away for almost nothing. A lot of people scratch their heads like, damn, you got rid of Saquon Barkley for almost nothing. Lo and behold, he gets traded to the Jets. And the Jets make the move clearly under the perception that he's going to play for them in good faith. But Hassan Reddick has refused to report for training camp until a new deal is reached. At the very least, a new deal on the final year of his contract. On top of that, Reddick hasn't even showed up for OTAs or mandatory minicamp. Hassan Reddick made it very clear that I need to get taken care of. I need my contract to match the production that I'm providing you guys. And I think the Jets are from the perspective of, hey, let's just see how you work within our defense. And Hassan Reddick is like, that's not my problem. You traded for me, and I was under the impression that you were willing to pay me. And the Jets were under the impression that, hey, you're going to play regardless of how this thing works, and you're going to trust that we take care of you. But here's the thing: the Eagles dodged the bullet. This was a distraction, a situation that the Philadelphia Eagles clearly did not want any parts of. They did not want to carry over his negotiations into training camp. And as of right now, it's carrying over into the New York Jets training camp. I can't get mad at the Eagles for having this foresight. I can't get mad at the Eagles for wanting to move on and not want to carry this when they knew for a fact they weren't going to play the player. They didn't waste their time. They didn't waste his time. They traded him and they made good on their promises. They traded him. They moved on. I can't get mad at it. Now, you know, there was a point in time where I said to myself, damn, trading Hassan Reddick, that's a major risk. I don't know if I feel comfortable with that. I don't know if I feel comfortable with it. And I still don't know if I feel comfortable with it. But when you factor in the business, when you factor in what Saquon, I keep saying Saquon, what Hassan Reddick is looking for, the rumor is he's looking for something around 23, 25 million a year. That's the rumor. I can't get mad at the Eagles for moving on. When I think about it from that perspective, they basically said, you know what? We're going to cut off our finger to save our hand. We're going to cut off our finger to save our hand. Don't let that go over your head. The Philadelphia Eagles, could they have paid Hassan? I'm sure they could have made it work somehow, right? I'm sure they could have made it work somehow. But they said to themselves, we don't feel comfortable playing this. We don't feel comfortable paying this player what he's looking for. And that's okay. That's their prerogative. And a lot of people were not happy about the return they got on that investment. As far as the trade, Hassan Reddick was a legit player for the Eagles for 2 straight years. And a lot of people still don't like that they moved on from him. But when you factor in the business, they dodged the bullet. They dodged the bullet. Twiz says Hassan should have just took the 22 from us. Twiz also says Goddard, I'm giving him 950 yards, 9 touchdowns, 70 receptions. I like that. Chris Scott says Paris Campbell will start at slot. I do think Anaya Smith will get playing time. As for Wilson, he'll be used in the red zone. Yeah, Johnny Wilson, he's such a big body. He's slow. I don't think Johnny, I don't know. I don't know if Johnny Wilson's going to be optimal in the slot. Paris Campbell, I think he may win the spot, honestly. That's just my opinion. Anaya Smith, I think he's going to find his way on the field too. I think he's going to find his way on the field. You know? So I feel you on that. But yeah, man, look, I can never get mad at a player for doing what's best for him. I can't get mad at an organization for doing what they think is best for them. I can't get mad at it. Now, can I offer my agreement or disagreement in their decision? Sure. But I can't get mad at somebody for doing what they feel is best for them and their livelihood. I can't get mad at an organization for doing what they believe is best for them, their roster, and their overall organization and finances. Can't get mad at it not one bit. So it's going to be what it's going to be. I really appreciate you guys for locking in on the content. Make sure you guys smash that like button. This has been a hell of a live stream. You guys have been awesome. I want to give a shout out to Doomsday for donating to the channel. Weapon X Eagles Media for donating to the channel as well. My good friend Mike Call for donating to the channel as well. You guys have been tremendous. I want to give a shout out to all my loyal subscribers, all my loyal viewers. And I definitely want to give a shout out to, and once again, give a shout out to Jameer Adams out of Connecticut and Mark Johnson out of California. I want to remind those gentlemen, they were my first giveaway winners. They're going to be receiving one mystery item, one mystery Eagles item from me. And I showed you guys that I have a ton of merch that's being given out, and it's all going to be given out throughout training camp, the preseason, the regular season, the playoffs. I'm grateful for you guys for showing love, and I want to make sure that I pay it forward to you guys as well. So for as much as you guys invest in me, I want to give back to the people. So shout out to Jameer Adams and Mark Johnson for being my first winners. I'm going to get these mailed out as soon as possible. Trust and believe me, I'm not going to be like other people and finesse you and not get you your giveaways. Okay, I'm loyal to the soil, and I'm gonna be emailing you guys every step of the way. I'm going to email you guys when I go to the post office. I'm going to send you guys an email, with the tracking information. I'm going to send you guys emails about updates about the delivery. I want you guys to I want you guys to take a picture of yourselves with your new Eagles gear, and then email it to me so I can show it, so I can upload it on the live stream. I'm going to make sure you guys are locked in on every step of this process when it comes to these giveaways, because I want you guys to know I'm not a cheapskate. I'm not a liar. I'm not a cheat. I'm not trying to finesse you guys. You guys are going to get your giveaways from me. I believe, I trust me on that, right? You guys are going to be made aware. If you win, I'm going to be corresponding with you every step of the way. Like I said, I'm going to let you know when I'm on my way to the post office, when I get the tracking information, all that stuff. I want you guys to know that I'm here for you guys. I'm going to give back to the people that invested in me, and that's how this content moves, and that's how we carry it here at Chalk It Up Sports. So again, please make sure you guys smash that like button. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the show. We're going to be live again tomorrow. We're going to be live tomorrow, you guys. Not sure on the time yet, but we are going to be live tomorrow. Just make sure you guys are locked in for the live streams. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the show, hitting the like button. Make sure you have the notification bell hit. It's going to make you aware every time I go live, so you guys can potentially be a lucky winner of the giveaways. And we're going to be doing this all throughout training camp, all throughout the preseason, all throughout the regular season, and all throughout the playoffs. And it's straight like that, you guys. By the way, Loki wants to say later on to you guys, we appreciate y'all so much. We appreciate y'all so much for showing love to the show. It's my little man here. He got a lot bigger since y'all last saw him. But man, oh man, you guys are awesome, and I can't do it without you. I'm your guy, Tone DeShields II, and you guys have been locked in on Chalk It Up Sports, where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just got to charge it to the game.